things just got a whole load worse for Meghan Markle because her sister Samantha ain't going anywhere.
What if the so-called perfect royal fairy tale is nothing but smoke and mirrors? People are whispering that Meghan's kids might not even be real, calling them AI-generated illusions.
People think her kids are fake, they think they're AI.
Meghan Markle's carefully polished image is starting to crack wide open, and the storm is building fast. At the center of this chaos stands her half-sister, Samantha Markle. She once snapped, "She would still be a waitress if it wasn't for Dad," and that jab still echoes today.
She delivered it like an actress delivered it, and Oprah responded going, wow.
For years, Samantha has been painted as the jealous outsider, but word on the street says she's been stockpiling receipts that could wreck Meghan's entire royal narrative. We're talking about photos, timelines, and deep family details that flip the story upside down. And get this, rumors swirling out of the courtroom suggest these so-called secrets aren't just messy family gossip anymore. They might carry the kind of weight that could blow the crown right off this fairy tale.
In my opinion, she would still be a waitress if it wasn't for Dad.
That whole deal or no deal celebrity golf tournament, yeah, it's coming back to haunt Meghan in ways nobody saw coming. The way these stories are being laid out could rock her reputation across Hollywood, shake the media, and even send shockwaves through royal circles. But here's the wild part. What Samantha has dropped might not just poke holes in Meghan's fairy tale. It could spark fallout reaching all the way from Los Angeles producers to palace insiders in London. Samantha even reminded folks, "She was one of my deal or no deal girls. She was a caddy for all of my celebrities, Harry." That one line alone is enough to raise eyebrows everywhere.
Silence everybody and just produce a DNA sample.
So buckle up, because this started as a messy sibling feud, but it's spiraling into a full-blown saga of betrayal, loyalty wars, and bombshell revelations that Meghan can't keep under wraps. And trust me, sources say the most jaw-dropping twist hasn't even hit yet. For years, Samantha Markle was painted as a bitter outsider, lurking in the shadows of Meghan's glittering rise. But insiders are now whispering that this outsider label was way too neat, way too convenient, and maybe hiding the real story all along. Sources say Samantha, now in her early 60s and battling major health struggles, has been quietly stacking up receipts for years. We're talking old family photos, school memories, shared milestones, even private letters that reportedly clash with the story Meghan has sold to the world. Insiders claim this wasn't some bitter hobby. It was a calculated move to protect the truth, knowing that Meghan's global spotlight would eventually drag their family into the heat. While Meghan's story was broadcast across Oprah's stage and Netflix's glossy specials, Samantha was stuck in the shadows, painted as jealous, erased, and written off as the scheming half-sister. But whispers say Samantha wasn't about to stay silent forever.
Meghan Markle likely spent time with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein before she even met Prince Harry.
She bided her time, waiting for the perfect moment to flip the script and challenge the polished narrative with what she insists is hard evidence. And now, that moment may have finally landed, and it could shake Meghan's royal fairy tale like an earthquake. Insiders reveal Samantha's persistence has taken this family feud way past gossip blogs and daytime chatter. It's now sitting in front of serious power players who are asking whether Meghan's story is as flawless as she made it look.
Listen, I brought Meghan Markle, whatever her name is, to my Deal or No Deal celebrity golf tournament.
For those watching on the sidelines, the turnaround is jaw-dropping. The woman once dismissed as background noise has suddenly become a central character in a royal-adjacent drama that plays out more like a Hollywood thriller than a family squabble. But here's the kicker. It's not just Samantha's boldness that's making headlines. It's the exact claims she's bringing to the table. Because the next revelations she's teasing, they cut right into Meghan's most famous interview, the one the whole world tuned into. And if what Samantha drops holds weight, it could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the Duchess.
They want to hide their secrets, and I just love digging away to find out what they don't want us to know.
When Meghan sat across from Oprah in that history-making interview, one line shook millions. She claimed she grew up as an only child. It was emotional, raw, and it painted her as someone who faced the world completely alone, without siblings or family support. But insiders say that single statement may have unlocked one of her biggest scandals yet. Sources close to Samantha insist Meghan's words erased years of family history that prove otherwise. Photos from birthdays, graduations, and even small everyday milestones reportedly show the sisters together well into adulthood. One picture in particular keeps popping up, a 2008 snapshot placing Meghan at Samantha's college graduation, long after Meghan suggested they had drifted apart. That one photo alone has become the ultimate contradiction. People who actually knew the family recall Samantha driving Meghan to school, helping out with home responsibilities, even tagging along on casual shopping trips.
She was one of my Deal or No Deal girls that were, she was a caddy for all of my celebrities.
Harry, being a simple soul, has easily changed to suit Meghan's agenda.
None of that fits the tearful story Meghan shared on national TV. Critics are blasting her credibility, saying the receipts don't lie. Meghan's defenders, on the other hand, argue she might have meant emotionally, like an only child. But the damage is already done. The contrast is brutal. Meghan's televised image of loneliness versus receipts that scream family ties. And for Samantha, insiders say this was the breaking point. That Oprah interview wasn't just television, it was history being written right in front of the world. And in Samantha's eyes, it wasn't just Meghan rewriting her truth, it was Meghan erasing her role in the story altogether. That frustration, insiders say, turned into pure determination, pushing Samantha to step out with receipts she swears the world can't keep brushing off. After Meghan's now infamous only child statement, the question hangs heavy. Was it just a slip of the tongue or a deliberate rewriting of her past? What began as a messy sibling feud spiraled into something far darker. Sources reveal that after Meghan's blockbuster interviews aired across the globe, Samantha became the unexpected target of a storm she never saw coming. Instead of fading into the background, she was suddenly in the crosshairs, and the backlash was brutal.
It is interesting how she's exposing her as a yacht girl, someone who was paid off by rich men to go and hang out.
Insiders claim Samantha was flooded with disturbing messages from Meghan's most aggressive online supporters. And these weren't just mean-spirited comments. Sources say the threats were violent, graphic, and terrifyingly specific. There were even chilling mentions of acid attacks, coordinated harassment campaigns, and threats so real that Samantha allegedly had to pack up and move homes just to feel safe. The whispers paint a shocking picture. Samantha's fight to defend her truth may have cost her peace of mind, her sense of security, and maybe even her freedom to live without fear. And still, she hasn't backed down. Court documents reportedly pointed to attempts at tampering with Samantha's public records, painting her as abusive and unstable, in what many observers described as a cold, calculated move to wipe out her reputation completely. Behind the headlines, insiders say Samantha was left rattled, wondering how simply defending her truth spiraled into something this dangerous. What really shocked those close to her wasn't just the viciousness of the harassment, it was how organized it all looked. Sources claim this wasn't random trolls hiding behind keyboards, but groups working in sync, pumping hashtags, sharing doctored images, and spreading narratives with the force of a coordinated campaign. For Samantha, already dealing with serious health issues, this online onslaught turned a private family rift into a full-blown battle for her safety.
Yeah, well, it's as if Meghan is now trying to turn your own daughter against you.
Right.
Yet, instead of shutting her down, insiders say the threats only hardened her resolve. She began reshaping her role, not as the jealous half-sister Meghan cast her to be, but as a survivor of targeted intimidation, fighting back against a machine bigger than herself. And just as the harassment hit its peak, another explosive chapter opened. Meghan and Harry locked in their multi-million-dollar Netflix deal, marketed as their golden chance to finally tell their truth on their own terms. But according to Whispers, the glossy docuseries didn't just amplify Meghan's voice, it dragged Samantha straight back into the fire, making the feud hotter than ever and throwing her directly under the blinding Hollywood spotlight. Samantha was shoved directly into the global spotlight, and insiders say one of the most explosive moments came when Christopher Bouzy, a tech entrepreneur and outspoken Meghan supporter, branded her as part of a so-called hate group. That label painted her as some dangerous agitator online, but critics point out the wild contrast. This was a 60-year-old woman battling health struggles, not a cyber villain leading an army. Observers argue the optics completely backfired. Instead of strengthening Meghan's image as the victim of relentless harassment, the documentary left many viewers scratching their heads, asking why someone so vulnerable was being cast as a genuine threat. Insiders claim Samantha saw the Netflix special as her breaking point.
I grew up as an only child, which everyone who grew up around me knows. I would have loved to have had siblings. That's why I'm so excited to be pregnant, so that Archie has someone.
Dressed in that black and white checkered outfit, she watched as her name and face were blasted out to millions, cementing the narrative that she was malicious. Sources say the series didn't just intensify the public hostility against her, it also fueled her determination to fight harder to defend her name and rewrite her reputation. And here's the twist. The irony couldn't be sharper. The very project designed to boost Meghan's global brand ended up giving Samantha more spotlight than she ever imagined. With that spotlight came renewed fire to dismantle Meghan's version of events once and for all. But just as the Netflix fallout was heating up, another voice stepped into the chaos. This time, none other than Meghan's father, Thomas Markle. Insiders say he wasn't holding back either, dropping blunt revelations that cut right through Meghan's carefully polished fairy tale. So now the question is, did the Netflix doc really help Meghan's image, or did it hand her critics more ammo than ever? Sources say Thomas Markle didn't hold back. He flat out called his daughter's media image fake and inauthentic. Even veteran royal watchers were stunned by how direct he was. According to insiders, Thomas has stressed over and over that Meghan's story of a lonely, struggling childhood doesn't line up with the lifestyle he actually provided. He pointed to details like regular family dinners at classy spots such as Musso and Frank.
I mean, her father is recovering from a stroke, literally about a 3-hour drive. I mean, could you believe that? She doesn't have a father.
Painting a picture of outings that directly clash with Meghan's claims of eating TV dinners alone. Observers note this hits right at the core of Meghan's brand, which thrives on hardship, survival, and resilience. If Thomas's version is true, it suggests her public image wasn't organic at all. It was carefully curated for maximum sympathy and shine. Critics are running with that narrative, while Meghan's defenders push back, saying her emotional truth may still hold weight, even if the facts are fuzzy. But no matter which side you believe, the clash of perspectives has pulled even more eyes onto Meghan's family drama, fueling the obsession like never before. For Samantha, insiders say her father's words felt like validation, proof she hadn't been exaggerating all these years. It bolstered her belief that Meghan's version of events erased or twisted the family's real story. And for viewers, Thomas's entry into the feud flipped the script entirely. This wasn't just a sibling rivalry anymore, it was a multi-generational rift that looked impossible to repair. And just when Thomas's bombshells were making waves, they got buried under an even touchier subject, the one that's haunted Meghan from the day her pregnancies first grabbed headlines.
I'll tell you why. What she told the royal family, what she told Harry, wouldn't have jived, wouldn't have been consistent with the truth.
Out of all these revelations, Samantha's claims, Thomas's digs, or the Hollywood whispers, what do you think was the most shocking? Out of all the scandals circling Meghan Markle, none have clung to her name quite like the whispers surrounding her pregnancies. Insiders say the rumors roared back to life after an old hospital video resurfaced, showing Meghan laughing, dancing, and moving in ways that critics claimed didn't line up with a natural baby bump. Online commentators zoomed in on every frame, pointing out how the bump looked too high, too stiff, or even shifting in odd ways that sparked fresh waves of speculation. Now, most people dismiss these theories as wild conspiracy talk, but the damage was already done.
Someday Meghan's going to realize that she's obviously missing out on a really good, tight-knit family. I mean, we're all still together all the time, no matter what.
Observers note that just the optics alone kept Meghan's name tangled in scandal long after the moment passed. Palace insiders, according to reports, were rattled by the backlash, with one even describing the display behind closed doors as classless and tragic. That level of critique from the inside only added fuel to the storm. For Meghan, the persistence of these rumors shows the brutal reality of her position. Every smile, every gesture, every move she makes becomes open season for public debate. But for her critics, insiders say the controversy felt like symbolic proof of a bigger pattern, that Meghan carefully engineers her image to the point it sometimes invites doubt. Whether or not the rumors hold a shred of truth, the scandal piled more weight onto Samantha's claims, strengthening the idea that Meghan's public persona drifts far from reality.
And when you're pregnant, there's not a pillow under your skirt. And there's live footage of her walking towards camera with her abdomen swaying left to right in a black and white checkered dress.
And while conspiracy chatter kept dominating online spaces, another narrative started brewing across the Atlantic, this time in Hollywood. Insiders whispered that Meghan's star power might not be as bulletproof as it once seemed. At first, her Hollywood leap looked unstoppable, but cracks were starting to show. A royal title, global name, and a fat Netflix contract should have made Meghan one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. But insiders say the shine is wearing off fast. Her big cooking series? Sources claim it flopped on Netflix, failing to land on the weekly charts or spark the cultural buzz the streamer had banked on. Industry observers say studio execs are now quietly pulling back, waiting to see if Meghan's image can survive the non-stop family drama and online backlash before they gamble on new projects.
I think she's taking advantage of a very weakened man and getting him to say things that you just shouldn't be saying on television.
And here's the kicker. Insiders whisper that even Prince Harry is starting to step away from Meghan's career moves, choosing instead to focus on his own ventures. That distance has already sparked talk of behind-the-scenes tension in the royal-turned-Hollywood power couple. Critics argue the cooling reception proves Meghan's brand, once powered by glamour and public sympathy, might be losing its grip in an industry that drops stars the second momentum slows. Supporters push back, insisting Hollywood always plays the long game, and Meghan's name alone still commands global attention. But the very fact that there's hesitation, that's the red flag. And Samantha's camp. Insiders say they're watching all this unfold like it's vindication. Proof Meghan's carefully crafted narrative just isn't hitting the way it used to. But while Hollywood seems uncertain, another audience is reportedly paying close attention: the royal family. Palace whispers suggest they may be quietly enjoying Meghan's unraveling image, watching from the shadows as the cracks spread wider than ever. Do you think Meghan's Netflix documentary saved her image, or dragged it deeper into the mud behind palace walls? Insiders say the royal family is watching the drama with a mix of fascination and quiet satisfaction.
I don't think anybody at Netflix could have seen the show before it went out, because it's not entertainment, it's not edifying in any way. It's really, really bizarre.
For years, palace aides reportedly warned that Meghan's obsession with controlling the media and rewriting family ties could backfire. And now, those predictions are exploding in real time. Reports claim senior royals remain fiercely reluctant to reconcile, terrified that any private conversation could end up spun into another headline or flashy documentary scene. Observers say this wall of mistrust has locked Meghan out of the inner circle, isolating her more than ever and leaving her clinging to Hollywood ties that now look shaky at best. For Samantha, insiders whisper this feels like total vindication. No longer brushed off as jealous or bitter, she's being seen as the one person bold enough to challenge Meghan's carefully manufactured image. And for palace watchers, the dynamic feels almost Shakespearean, a royal fairy tale unraveling under the weight of family receipts, contradictions, and voices refusing to stay silent. Whether Meghan manages to rebuild her brand or slides into deeper decline, one thing is certain. The family drama she tried to control has now become a global spectacle, way bigger than even she imagined. And here's the wild part. The revelations so far, they're just the beginning. If you thought this breakdown was messy, wait until you see what we uncovered next. It ties directly into everything you just heard and makes the picture even more explosive. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and hit subscribe so you don't miss it.